Hello and welcome everyone to another new lesson. I'm Christine, one of your favorite trainers, and you are definitely my favorite students. Okay, today we're going to be learning something very important on your writing skills. It is something with a punctuation. Any guesses? Today I'm going to be talking about 13 comma rules everyone should know. Now, yes, writing is a very important skill. We make a lot of mistakes with punctuations. Today, we're going to emphasize on the comma. It seems like a small, tiny little thing, but it makes a world of a difference where you place it, how you place it, if you place it or if you don't place it. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about this. It's going to be enjoyable. It's going to be fun. Make sure you have your notebooks and your pens. Take notes. This will go a long way in improving your writing skills. Ready? Let's do this. Okay, the first one we're going to look at is using comma before a coordinating conjunction. Relax. It's not as difficult as it seems, okay? These may be big words, but I'll make it simple for you. So we're looking at this sentence. I went to the beach and I got a sunburn. Now, if you go to see, this in itself, right, is an independent clause. It's like a sentence on its own, right? It's independent. This sentence too is an independent clause. It's a sentence on its own. So if you say I went to the beach, it's on its own. If you say I got a sunburn, you can say it on its own. What are we doing? We are connecting it with and, right? I went to the beach and I got a sunburn. So this becomes a coordinating conjunction. You will put your comma just before a coordinating conjunction. All right, so that will help you understand how to use and put the comma in a sentence like this. So like I said, this is a coordinating conjunction. And what are coordinating conjunctions? But, for, or, so, yes. So next time you have these words, you know where to place your comma. Let's look at our next one. Use comma after introductory words. You want to know what they are? For example, finally is an introductory word. It's introducing you to the action that is happening. I went to the mall. Independent clause, right? But it's introducing you to it. So finally, I went to the mall. When you're writing it, after an introductory word, you use a comma. Let's look at the next sentence. However, he made it to the final. So after however, there's a comma. Okay, it's an introductory word. On the other hand, we can look at, and you can of course fill up the sentence with whatever you want to. We can look at the sentences, we can look at whatever we want to look at. But here, on the other hand, is an introductory phrase. It's not just a word, it's a phrase. And we put a comma just after that. Furthermore, I'd like to say that I'm so interested in learning this lesson. Okay, so after furthermore, we're putting a comma. So make sure with introductory words, after that, we put a comma. The next one, use a comma if a sentence begins with yes or no. So simple. And I'll show you how simple it is. No, I didn't buy the phone. No, comma, I didn't buy the phone. Yes, we attended the party. A comma after a no and a yes. This does not need much explanation. I'm sure you would have understood this so easily. Our next one, use commas to offset appositives. I'll explain. So this sentence says, Sunny Cream, the type of lotion I use for dry skin, didn't work very well. Now, an appositive is describing the noun, okay, which is this. Right? So this is describing that, and I will show you further. This is a description to this, right, which is appositive 1, and it's further describing it, right, which is appositive too. So what is an appositive, right? It gives more description and more information on the noun, right? So like you said, Sunny Cream, it's a lotion that I used, okay? The type of lotion I use for dry skin, I'm giving you more explanation on that. Didn't work very well is further giving you more description that this cream that I used did not work well. Make sure there's a comma, right? Just before that and after that. Before and after an appositive. I hope this is clear. It's really simple, and just make sure that anything that is describing the noun, you know where to put your commas. All right, the next one. Use commas to separate items. This is also very simple. When I was in Dubai, I went shopping, everybody's favorite thing to do, on a desert safari and visited Ferrari Park. So as you can see, the first one is I went shopping. Second one is went for a desert safari. And the third one is, visited the Ferrari Park. So there are three things happening here, and we have put commas accordingly, right? So when I was in Dubai, comma, went shopping, desert safari, and the last one. So very simple, just to separate items and things that you've done. Moving on, use commas before or after quotes. Now we all know when there's a quote, we put inverted commas, right? This is a comma and this is an inverted comma. So when we're using a quote, we always put inverted comma. Sometimes when we speak also we do this, right? But this is when we are writing. So when you're writing it, a quote will have inverted commas. Make sure there's a comma before and after your quote. So what's the quote in this sentence? There you go. The floods are intense, right? Of course, we highlighted it to make it fairly simple for you to understand as well. Let's move on to the next one. Use comma between a city and state. So, where do I stay? In Mumbai, Maharashtra. So, Mumbai is the city and Maharashtra is the state. So, when you're writing this down, make sure you put a comma between the city and state. A lot of forms that we fill up, you know what to do now. Next one. Use comma to separate negation in a sentence. Do you know what negation is? You'll soon find out. I wore a white shirt, not a black, when I went for the interview, right? This is the negation, not a black. So I'm telling you, I wore a white, not a black. So something that is negative, like negating what is said, is what a negation in a sentence is. Make sure you put a comma to separate negation in a sentence so that we know that you are talking about it separately. Got it? Fairly simple. Use a comma to separate elements in a full date. This you'll definitely get, right? So as you can see, Friday, day, August 15th, comma, 1947, comma, is when India got independence. All right, so here we're separating the weekday, ta-da, okay, the month, the day, and the year. So every time we are putting them, chunking it, we are separating it with a comma. Simple? Yes? I'm glad. Use a comma between two adjectives that modify the same noun, right? Now we have a sentence here. My angry, abusive boss had no kindness at all. How many of you can relate to this? You can tell me in the comments below. So here there are two adjectives, which is angry and abusive. These are adjectives talking about the boss, right? So you'll see it here. Adjective 1, adjective 2, and the boss is the noun. You're describing your boss, angry and abusive. So what are we doing? We're separating two adjectives with a comma. So make sure you have a comma between two or more adjectives, because that's what it does. It modifies the same and it helps you know and describe the noun. Let's look at the next one. Use a comma for direct address. I'm going to college, Mom. Or you can say, Dad, I'm having dinner. So when you're writing something like this, you're directly addressing your mom in the sentence. So you're saying, I'm going to college, comma, mom. Or when you're telling your dad, Dad, I'm having dinner. So when there's a direct address, use a comma to separate that. Okay, so it's very simple, and these sentences show you how simple it is. And our last one for today, use a comma before every sequence of 3 numbers. Okay, so this some of us would remember from school, but from those of you who don't remember, this is a revision. His starting salary is how much? How much is this? 1 lakh. Okay, so there's, as you can see, there's 3 and 3, right? So we're dividing, right, a sequence of 3 numbers, we're putting a comma. Here, the company is worth how much? How much is this? Can you help me with this number? Because I don't know, millions, billions, crores. Write it in the comment below. I would love to know what you say with this, right? Okay, so you know you have a task to help me say this right. So here again, we are dividing the numbers in sets of 3. I hope that was really simple. So those were our 13 rules on how to use the comma. I hope you noted them down, and I hope it improves your writing skills. So I'll see you in the next lesson. Until then, keep practicing and keep learning English.